Feel right at home. Yeah. Let me just jump in. Let's do it. Okay. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. And sing with us and count your blessings. So blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Yay. That was beautiful, y'all. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. I am Reverend Bonnie Rose, but you can call me Bonnie. And I'm delighted to be here with all of you, and for those who are watching online, and for those who are yet to come through, because people tend to arrive right at 10 o'clock, don't they? Notice that. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we're going to have a great Sunday this morning, and I'm going to pass the word over to Bernie, practitioner emeritus.
And volunteer coordinator. I'm volunteering.
Yay. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Announcements. And Jennifer wants you to say it 3 times, but you're not going to.
What?
Announcements.
Oh, okay.
If you were a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout, you know what that is. All right. So, good morning. We're doing announcements today because we have a really specific request later. If you want the information and I say it too fast, I don't talk as fast as Jennifer. But go to the website, www.VCSL Ventura CSL. Let me say it correctly. VenturaCSL.org. Also, you can go to the concierge desk after service in the room, and we're going to have a special guest there today. I'm looking for her, and I don't see her, but I know she's here. There she is. We have 2 people at the desk. We have Lacey, who's going to be answering general questions, and then our lovely Christine Voth, who's going to be answering questions about Circle of Blessings, because we have a special request on that. But I'll say that later. Oh, wait, I've already said it, so there you have it. You know, you gotta wing it sometimes. Okay, so the 3rd Wednesday of the month, we have a Science and Spirituality. Did I say 3rd Wednesday? I didn't say Monday. Okay,
Wednesday.
I did say Monday.
Yeah.
Whew, somebody's had too much coffee. But that's okay. Maybe I am speaking fast. Okay, so Wednesday we have a spirituality and science discussion, and the group is pretty darn terrific. So if you haven't been to the Wednesday meditation science thing event, check it out. And it happens here in Stanley Saul. Okay, we have classes coming up. Wait, let me just find Mary. Mary Kerrigan taught a class on music and making that your spiritual practice yesterday, and it was fabulous, and she had a really good time doing it. And so if you missed it, see her, and maybe she'll schedule it again for you sometime in the future. That's a pass note.
Okay.
And now the next class, the new class, Noble Purpose. This is a 6-week class with our Karen Mondragon, and it starts on July 2nd. She's currently in Bali getting her Noble Purpose in alignment, so she'll be back in a few weeks, and you can ask her more about the class. Our next class is by, wait for it, David Kerrigan, who's doing Love in Action, which is a 5-week class, and that class is a perfect follow-up if you're taking Heartivism right now, to step from that class into David's class and learn how to take that kindness message into your daily life if you haven't already dialed into it. And that starts July the 11th. All right, here's an opportunity to volunteer. Building appreciation, which means you don't just stand out there and look at the building and go, wow, I love coming into this building. You appreciate it with the love of polishing and cleaning and weeding and trimming flowers and doing all kinds of little honeydews around the building so that we can have the place present as the wonderful, lovely place that it is. So if you want to know more about that, you can see me, maybe. You can see Lonnie, maybe. Lonnie, wave your hand, our board president. Thank you, Lonnie. And I don't see Jim.
He's right there.
He's hiding behind Kevin. You can't hide, honey. So, and Jim is there. Wave your hand, honey. They don't know who you, there you go. He's also on the board, and he's our building guy. Who are you pointing at? Karen. I'm not going to tell, that's Karen. Karen Collins. Karen Collins, who helps us all around in all the different places. I'm not going to mention her name at all. Oh, wait, I did. So Karen Collins is our other person who's very, how shall we say, picky. No, that's not the word.
Okay, honey.
Shut up and sit down.
It's time to wrap up now. So let's go ahead.
And another thing.
Yeah, do you have more announcements? No. Okay.
We're done. Thank
Yay,
you.
Bernie, thank you. All righty. Let us call forth Devin, who will give us our youth message.
Okay, will the children please come up? So my name is Devin, and I work with the children. Hello.
Hi, Nina and Felix.
And I just want to say a little bit about my father. He made his transition in 2019. And so I like to connect Father Sky to the energy of Father's Day, because I see a constellation and the star Sirius, and I think of my father and feel that connection. So I'm going to start with an American Indian poem. O our Father, the sky, hear us and make us strong. O our Mother, the earth, hear us and give us support. O Spirit of the East, send us your wisdom. O Spirit of the South, may we tread our path. O Spirit of the West, may we always be ready for the long journey. O Spirit of the North, purify us with your cleansing winds. And I'm going to lead us in a short meditation. When I work with the children, I oftentimes do yoga with the kids. And yoga is more than just movement. That's like one part of it. But there's a lot of mindfulness and meditation that is part of yoga. And I believe that is my specialty in it. So take a moment to find a comfortable posture. You can stand or sit. And when you feel comfortable, allow your eyes to close. Imagine yourself in a beautiful place, perhaps the beach, a wide open field, or somewhere in the mountains. Maybe this is a place you know, or one that exists in a movie or a book, or one that exists in your imagination. Looking up, you can see a wide blue sky with just a few puffy white clouds drifting past. Notice thoughts going past in your mind, and as you notice each thought, see if you can visualize it shrinking and place it on a passing cloud as it goes by. You might notice that some clouds get stuck or move slowly. Others sail by more quickly on the air currents. And some change their shape or size. But all of them eventually pass and drift away in the sky. If they get stuck, you can even try breathing out to gently push the clouds outward. Take time to just notice your thoughts and feelings, placing them on a cloud and letting them drift away on your breath. You may find yourself caught in the clouds from time to time, floating with the thoughts, caught up in the clouds themselves. If this happens, just notice which thought pulled you in. Bring yourself back to your beautiful place with the view and breathe the clouds away. And return to watching again. Take time to watch your thoughts and feelings, big and small, happy and sad, as they rest on the clouds and eventually float away. As you finish, remember that all your thoughts and feelings will eventually pass. Allow your eyes to open. And this is also a children's message because the last time I was working with the kids, we played a game where we were going around almost like Candyland talking about our feelings. And I just watched the Inside Out movie. And one of the messages I got was just all of the feelings are welcome, and just to really embrace all of it and feel everything. Thank you.
Thanks, Devin. Thank you. Just a minute. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Yes, you are. Have fun in church today. Yay. Yay. Good to see you, kiddo. All righty. Thank you, Devin. All right. Well, look who's here. It's Vicky, who will lead us in, you know what, and then a little prayer. Yes.
Before we pray in this morning, please stand if you are a father,
Let us acknowledge
so we may
fathers.
bless you and
Yes.
acknowledge you.
Thank you. Bless you all. Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you. Thank you, God. So, ministers and practitioners and everyone here being with me in the knowing that there is one life, and that is God's life. And it protects me and serves me and embraces me in being a loving being to all. And I know that I am free to express the beauty of being kind and compassionate to everyone. And so, as this is the truth for me, I know this is the truth for everyone here today. And as we join to know the miracle of life and to bless the fathers that have given us life, I say thank you to all the expressions of fatherhood that are gentle and kind and allow us to be the best we can be. So to the Mr. Rogers and the Gandhis and all the expressions of a loving father, I say a deep thank you. And I say a deep thank you to this church and to Reverend Bonnie and to all who serve here, knowing that we are here to be divine expressions of exactly what we already are. Knowing this day is blessed and serves us and everyone in our community as we take what we learn here out to this beautiful world, I just release this prayer into God's love, knowing that it is already perfect, whole, and complete. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Thank you, Vicky. So breathing into the awareness of that beautiful prayer, trusting and knowing that the Spirit of the Divine has led us here together. Let us relax, go deeper, and open our hearts to hear the words of our sacred reading.
Kindness, Plain and Simple, by David Copperfield. I believe in kindness, but it's hard to be kind. We're not trained for it. Kindness is for sissies. We learn that early. Nice guys finish last, if they even get invited to the race. Kindness is taken for weakness, rubbishness, stupidity. No one seems to respect the kind. They respect the killer. We're taught to value competitiveness, strength, cunning, Darwin. I work in the entertainment business, where kindness just never seems to be in. It's not macho. It doesn't sell tickets. In the movies, the hero never kills the bad guy with kindness. But I believe in Economics 101. It's right. The value of a thing is determined by its scarcity, which makes kindness spiritual gold. I am writing these words just a few weeks after my father's death. For my father, being kind was natural. He had a gift for it. I have to really work at it. I love competing and winning. Conquest, not words you usually associate with kindness. As I became successful, famous even, my father wasn't jealous. He basked in it. He and my mom came with me everywhere I toured. I'd always stop and introduce him to the audience, and he'd stand and bow. Afterwards, he'd sign autographs. I knew he loved getting the attention. Only recently did I understand that he loved giving attention as well. He loved the chance to be kind to the thousands of people who came up to him. He drew strength and vitality from the chance to be nice. The chance to learn that gift was, more than anything, his legacy to me. He showed me that kindness doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be very small. It's something that's not expected and that's offered absolutely gratis, no strings, like an act of friendship. Now, the memories that hold the most peace for me are of kindness, of my dad offering it to strangers. With my dad's blessing, I've resolved to make life more about those moments. My dad taught me that what you do counts. For me, that has to be about being kind, despite the odds. I believe in kindness, plain and simple.
And so it is. Thank you. So in the fullness of that belief that there is a power for good in the universe that we can use, and we use it as it uses us. We allow it to use us for kindness, for good, for grace, for understanding, for compassion. And so we allow ourselves to surrender to that presence, to know it. And part of knowing it is remembering who we are. We are that I am presence that is inherently kind, in happiness itself, that is goodness, that is always evolving into deeper and deeper expressions of goodness. And so let us remember the I am presence as we sing together, as we become aware of that presence as it flourishes within us, not only for ourselves, but we sing this song also for the entire cosmos, for all beings everywhere. So together, let us sing, I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. resting in that presence of divine remembrance. As divine remembrance, let us breathe in deeply and then open our eyes as love and in love and in service to what is as it is. And so it is. Namaste. Thank you. I left my choir music somewhere. I gotta go find my choir music, but I'm not in this one.
When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Well, you can tell someone you love them from the bottom of your heart and believe that it's the truest thing you've known. And even if you never break the promises you make, the river's gonna keep on rolling on. And if you haven't got a dollar, not a penny to your name, somebody's gonna miss you when you're gone. And even if you never find just a little peace of mind, the river's gonna keep on rolling on. Keep on rolling to the ocean. Keep on rolling over you and me. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. Beautiful. Thank you. Would it be okay if I didn't have that microphone in my face, too? Thank you. I'm so glad my mic is on, aren't you all? Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Oh, good job. That's exactly how I would have done it, David. Getting the wires out of the way. Let's give it up for David and my friend here. Yes, of course. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, y'all, so here it is Father's Day, and I thought I'd start with a dad joke, okay? What did the grape say when the elephant sat on it? Ouch. Good answer. The grape said nothing, but she did let out a fine whine. First of all, you're welcome to all of those who laughed. Dads make corny jokes. That's why that's called a dad joke. Yes, okay, all right. Please feel free to heckle me throughout the service. No, actually, as you know, I like it. So anyway, and if the grape let out a fine whine, I wonder if she said, "What did I do to deserve this?" Has anybody ever said that? If you are in the Science of Mind teaching today, if you are in the Science of Mind teaching, perhaps you say it a lot. Because we have this thing in our teaching, it's called the law of cause and effect. Those of you who have been around me a lot know that I've told this story before, but when I was back at my former church training practitioners, there's this thing on a test where it says you need to describe the science of mind in 50 words or less. And this one practitioner said, "I can do it in 3 words." Okay. I rise to the challenge. What are the 3 words? It's your fault. Meaning that we create what happens to us. And to a certain extent we do. That symbol there, the V does not stand for Ventura. It does not stand for victory. It stands for this idea that the top layer is thought. The thought goes into a creative medium that we call law, and then out of that comes a form. So when something happens in our lives, one of the first things that we do in Science of Mind is we look at our thoughts and how our thoughts might be creating this. Sometimes we get a little overzealous with that, but I'll get to that in just a moment. So the purpose of the talk today is to examine principles of deserving, but also to balance accountability, that working of the law that I just talked about, with grace, with unconditional grace. And to move into the greatness of unconditional deserving, which moves us into the greatness of unconditional living, where life becomes magnificent. Even if it doesn't always look that way, there is a magnificence to everything, and we get to appreciate the gifts of that. Days pass, years vanish, and we walk sightless among the miracle of life and who we are. Today, we cultivate the eyes to see the beauty of everything around us, even the things that are challenging. But first,
about that law of cause and effect. Does anybody recognize this town, this Main Street? Yes, it is downtown Ventura pre-pandemic, isn't it? Because the cars are parked there and there's a bunch of motorcycles, which is very Ventura in my experience. There's lots of motorcycles in Ventura. Am I correct in that? Yeah, I'm still getting used to it, you know? There's a story about a monk that was wandering around his town where he was living. And a woman came up to him and she said, I'm thinking of purchasing a house in this town. Tell me, what are the people like here? And he said, what were the people like in your old town? And she said, they are selfish, they're greedy, they're uncompromising, they're rude, they're horrible people. And he said, guess what? The people like that are like that in this town too. Now, coincidentally, he walked a little further and another woman came up to him and she said to him, I'm thinking of moving to this town. What are the people like here? The monk said, what are the people like in your old town? The woman said, oh my gosh, they are the nicest people in the world. They are so kind, they're so loving, they'll do anything for you. And the monk said, you know what? That's exactly like the people are in this town. So the message, the moral of that story is wherever you go, there you are. Now, of course, there are exceptions to this, but it is something worthwhile to look at, that perhaps we are creating our experience through the lens of what's happening, you know, through the lens of our seeing. And often, you may wonder why there's a cow there. I'll get to that in a minute. Often, when we do that, we use it as self-punishment. You know, again, particularly if you're in this denomination. I have known so many people over my years in this denomination, which has been since 1993 or so, 1990, I don't know, around there, early 90s. And people will do something, or they'll have some unfortunate consequence, and they will immediately go to a place of horrifying self-blame. You know, there was a rumor when I started in this church that people were afraid to come here if they were sick because people would think that they had whatever consciousness, cancer consciousness, broken leg consciousness, broken hip consciousness, whatever it was, that they had created their illness, and that's just not kind. But the way that the law of cause and effect is kind to us is that it can teach us. It is actually a gift from God given in grace so that we can learn from things that are perhaps self-destructive or not working from us. The reason I have a picture of cows up here is that this is one of the places where I hike, and there's often a barrier of cows to pass through, sometimes a bull, which is a whole other story. But, you know, I was chatting with my husband about this, and he said, well, what do the dogs do with the cows? And I'm like, well, ever since the stampede, they've been pretty good. Because one of them started a stampede one time, and they're not about to start a stampede because they learned, right? Same thing. There was a coyote incident. One of them got bit in the butt by a coyote. She doesn't chase coyotes anymore. She does not chase coyotes anymore. And then there's my favorite incident, which was Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew, another incredibly politically incorrect cartoon character, but all that aside, one of my dogs had a skunk in her mouth. Yes, she doesn't do that anymore. I still remember the day of standing in lessons in the grocery store with a basket full of cranberry, tomato juice, which doesn't work, by the way, but I was trying it out. Standing there with a basket of tomato juice, and the people in line around me, and the checker was going, what is that smell? It smells like an electrical fire. Do you think we need to call the police? And then one of them goes, it's a skunk. And I'm like, again, you're welcome. No need to call the police. Have you noticed my basket of tomato juice? Yes. But the thing is that she has learned. Those things happen so that she doesn't continue to do things that are destructive. And the same thing happens to us. I ask this a lot because I'm still learning from my mistakes. And I'm still hoping that I'm not alone in this. But how many of you have ever dated the same person in different bodies over and over again? Hello. Oh, you too. Okay, good to know. You see, and we could learn from that says this type of person is not the best for us. However, sometimes it takes a few times for us to learn. So did Sarah create, my dog Sarah, did she create her experience? Or do we create our experience when we're dating the same person over and over and again? Or whatever mistake we keep making over and over again? No, we think of it in terms of consequences, not punishment. When I do this, there's a good chance I'm going to get that. Okay? It's a consequence, not a punishment. Spiritual law in itself is grace because it's learning. It is teaching us how to protect ourselves and how to have lives that are more productive, more satisfying, more constructive rather than destructive, right? So spiritual law is a grace. Even though we fight against it, it is a grace. And what they say in so many science of mind circles, they say awareness is curative. Once we see how we're creating these patterns in our lives, we can do something about it. We can move into a place where with compassion, we look at what we are calling forth in our lives through our actions or through our behaviors, and then we do something about it. We make new choices, and that's really all it is. It's just new choices. Now, one of the greatest choices we can make, though, is to move into this ultimate lesson of spiritual law, something that is hard for us humans to grasp, and that is the idea that we are innately deserving of good. I was in a class recently. I wasn't teaching, I was taking the class. It was about all kinds of things, but mainly in this particular class, we were talking about abundance. And so many of as I was saying, and by the way, that was an example of the law of cause and effect in action, because Brian and I this morning discussed the batteries in my microphone, and we said, yeah, we probably don't need to change them. Look what we have learned, people. I was in this class, we were talking about abundance, and so many of the people in the class, when we meditated on it and saw what was standing in the way of our full expression of abundance in life, whether it's an abundance of relationship, an abundance of good, an abundance of resources, it was this insidious belief that maybe I don't deserve abundance. I've shared this before, but for years when I first started doing this job here, I wasn't sure if I deserved to take up space on this stage. Fortunately, Lonnie, our board president, set me straight, and she said, if you're on the stage, you have the right to be there. You deserve to take up place on this stage. Okay. However, I have to say that the undeserving has qualified me in terms of understanding undeserving in others, and it is completely unnecessary to feel undeserving at the core of our being. The ultimate lesson of spiritual law is that we are innately deserving of all of the goodness of the kingdom or the realm of heaven, that it is Spirit's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. But we have to receive it. We discover our innate deservability. We reveal the unconditional grace that is always there, beyond what we have earned, beyond deserving, beyond how we define deserving. We deserve it simply because we exist. We can be like the sun who deserves to shine. Would you ever argue with the sun and say, you don't deserve to shine? No, it's just a given. The sun deserves to shine because it's the sun. And you deserve to shine because you are you. How about that? Can you take that in for just a minute? Does that feel real? If it feels real now, which I hope it does, it can feel real anytime as we just reconnect to this place of our innate deserving. This is a line from a Hafiz poem. The sun never says to the earth, you owe me. And we don't say that God doesn't say that to us. God doesn't say to the earth, you owe me. God says, you deserve, because I made you, and you are mine, and I am yours. You deserve. Take a moment just to breathe into that awareness and allow it to be. I have a pride flag up here because it's a good example of undeserving run amok. I have to apologize to everybody here in that I am not very good at holidays, remembering holidays, and also remembering all the months. I forgot Pacific Islander month this year. Is anybody offended by that? I hope not. If there are any Pacific Islanders here, stand up and let us acknowledge you. I also forgot Woman Month. I guess March was Woman Month? I forgot that. We don't even know. I know. You don't even know. And I know sometimes there's an expectation that we'll do a lot of things for these months and these holidays. I struggle with Valentine's Day. It's a miracle that I remembered Father's Day. Mother's Day I struggle with. The only thing I really get into is Christmas, but that's because of the music and the farm animals, right? Pride Month, as you know, we celebrate, in Ventura, we celebrate the Pride Festival in August because we're Ventura, and LA does it in June. But the reason I put up the Pride flag today was to acknowledge the Pride Month, but also to reminisce back to my youth, which is ongoing, by the way. But my youth, when I was in music school, and I was living in North Carolina, and I was around a lot of LGBTQ folks, although we didn't call it that back then. And I noticed that there were a lot of people that felt deeply ashamed of the way they were made. And a lot of people were using the Bible as evidence that they shouldn't be who they are. Now, one of my plans in the future is to get my friend John, who is a gay Christian minister, to come in and explain all of that. The little stinker's on sabbatical now, or I would have had him this week, or this month. But I've seen such shame around people just being who they are, and there is no shame around that. There is no shame around that. And I think also one of the reasons that I don't get into the months or the celebrations or that much is my own divine forgetfulness, but also this idea that I would love it if we would stop polarizing around identities. If identities became as interesting as eye color. You know, oh, you've got blue eyes, big deal. Oh, you've got brown eyes, big deals. Oh, you're big deal. Oh, you're gay, you're straight, you're trans, whatever, big deal. Who cares? You're human, you're here, you're divine. We love you as you are. This is from a paraphrase of Rumi. It's Rumi and Bani combined. Not Christian or Jew or Muslim nor Hindu, not Buddhist, Sufi or Zen, not gay, straight, black, white, Asian, rich, poor, or any label. My place is placeless, a trace of the placeless, not needing to earn what I am. I belong to the beloved I am. That which I am just is without added conditions. So we don't care. God is not gay or straight. God is not Christian or Jew or Muslim or Sufi or Zen. God is not black or white or rich or poor or any label. God just is. And that is the truth of our existence. We just are. Thank you. Thank you. So my hope is to move beyond those labels and again, celebrate exactly who we are as we are and knowing that we all deserve. The nature of unconditional deserving. Deserving exists. This is, again, a combination of me and Rupert Spira. It's our little, I was going to say it's our baby, but it's not really. Okay, sorry, our love child. Okay, stop it. Just stop it, Bonnie. Okay. Deserving exists prior to experience. That means that we came in deserving, but we want to tie it to experience. If I get this job, if I get these accolades, if I get this validation, then that means I deserve. You deserved before you had all of that. Deserving is not dependent upon any experience. Therefore, it is our task to liberate experience from the impossible task of making us feel like we deserve. Experience cannot permanently make us feel like we deserve. Why? Because experience is impermanent. In impermanence, experience comes and goes. So one day everybody loves us, and the next day everybody's mad at us. So do we deserve when everybody loves us and not deserve when everybody's mad at us? That's what he means by this. Deserving is omnipresent, it is solid, it is permanent, it is changeless. It is a state of being that is who we are. And so we lean into the unconditional grace of that, the grace of knowing that we simply deserve by virtue of existence, like the sun deserves to shine. We deserve to shine. We deserve to shine. That's why we sing that song, I Am Remembering Who I Am, every Sunday, because the I Am presence is it, brothers and sisters and whatever else you are. It's the I Am presence is it. The I Am presence is the place where we remember who we are, and then all impermanence falls away as we center into that incredible experience of being the goodness, being the love, being the happiness, being our true nature that honestly doesn't even speak the language of deserving. It doesn't even ask the question because it knows innately that it is, that it simply is, and that is more than enough. So the practice. Because we're human, we have to practice. So we practice deserving as I am. One of the practices is to recognize, again, I said this before, but that our consequences, the things that we create in our lives, that we're using law of cause and effect to create in our lives, that we don't necessarily need to see them as punishment. They are counselors. Seems like I have to throw in a little Shakespeare here and there, but the churlish chiding of the winter wind, which when it bites and blows upon my body, even till I shrink with cold, I smile and say, these are counselors that feelingly persuade me what I am. Not who I am, but what I am. I am the life of God. Another way of saying it in a more modern way is, these are chiropractors who adjust me to align with greater well-being. So people, look for the chiropractors in your life. Look at the time, there you go. Look at the times you've fallen and you can't get up. Look at the times when you stumble, when you make a mistake. That's your chiropractor. That exists to align you into greater well-being, greater alignment with the truth of your true nature. So you're going to do that, right? Okay. I believe in unconditional kindness. That's from the reading that Hugh did. I believe in kindness. In the reading, Hugh said, my father showed me kindness doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be very small. It's something that's not expected and that's offered unconditionally, no strings attached. If we are offering unconditional deserving, this person deserves for us to get them a Starbucks or whatever, just because they're here. This person deserves a smile just because they're here. They haven't earned it. As we start practicing our unconditional giving, then we start to see how unconditional giving ripples back unto us. So we practice unconditional kindness. And if thought does create reality, which it does, consider this. Richard Rohr, the only thing that separates us from God is the thought that we are separate from God. Amen. And here we are. This one's a little harder to take, but I know you can do it. The only thing that separates us from deserving is the thought, I don't deserve. So what if you or I were to get very sensitive about the places where we feel like we don't deserve, very intuitive about the places where we're noticing that we feel like maybe we don't deserve a certain good in our lives, and we were to say, oh, wait, that's just a thought. That's just a thought that's separating me from deserving. I deserve. Without attachment to the form, I deserve. I deserve to be happy because I am happiness. I deserve to be good because I am goodness. I deserve to be deserved because I am deserving. She's pointing at somebody. When you get back to that person, will you tell them, you deserve love? Okay? Because the timing of cell phone rings are that might have been an alarm, but the timing of cell phone rings and texts are very important in a Sunday service. I always think it's that person needs to hear something. You deserve love. And then tell them, do not expect the world to bring you deserving. Bring your deserving to the world. Bring your deserving to the world. Show up like you deserve, because you do. Show up, shine, sing out, Louise, and be the deserving beauty that you are. How are you going to do that? I can't wait. I can't wait to hear how that manifests for all of you. It takes a little effort. It takes a little discomfort at first. But again, what if expecting the world to validate your deserving, just bring your cosmic sense of deserving into the world and see what happens. I suspect it will be delightful and wonderful and heart-affirming and so beautiful that it will be pressed down and spilling over to all the beings that you encounter. In a minute, the choir is going to sing a song, that quote that I quoted at the beginning about days pass, years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with knowing. Let us see that the bush burns unconsumed and that we, clay touched by God, are filled with awe and exclaim in wonder, how beautiful is this place, and we did not know it. Let's do this affirmation together to personalize that quote. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. How filled with awe is my space. How filled with awe is my face. How filled with awe is love's grace. And we get to see it, share it, and be it. Thank you, love. And so it is. And now just repeat after me. I deserve to be happy because I am happiness itself. Yes, you do, and so it is. Let us pray. All right, so turning within, we anchor into the awareness that there is truly only one presence. That presence is God's life, and that presence is our life, right here and right now, living and moving and having its perfect being through each of us. How wonderful it is to celebrate that presence and all that it has already given us simply because we exist. It gives us the amazing law of cause and effect so that we can learn, so that we can live ever more productive and inspiring lives. And it also gives us unconditional grace. The law is part of that unconditional grace that we just receive simply because we are here. How wonderful it is to know that. How wonderful it is to deepen into the consciousness of that and to allow it to transform us from both the inside out and the outside in. And so I'm just so grateful for this spiritual truth, so grateful for the art of deserving and the art of greater loving ourselves and others, for there truly is only one. I'm grateful for this teaching, and I bless all paths to God, churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, ashrams, gurdwaras, fundamentalists, atheists, agnostics, all beings everywhere. I bless them because all beings are a blessing in their own, sometimes puzzling, but in their own wonderful way. And so I love this beautiful community. I love how we support one another. I give thanks for all of that. And with a heart so filled with gratitude, I say, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, love. And I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. That was a great recovery with the mic. I know, very good. You must be practicing that. Well, I just want to say, I just love our spiritual family. It's a place that we can bring all of the things we learned as a family and refine them. And I just want to let you know, I'm not going to go on and on and on like Bernie did. I'm like Saraswati. I learned. Yeah, I better make this quick. Love you, Bernie. But truly, we have so much fun being the family that we are. And what a day to bring that remembrance of our own families and our spiritual families together. So in this morning, in the honor of deserving, I invite you
Oh, we're going to do this together. I forgot. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We trust in spirit. Love is a giver and receiver of all that we are. We offer this gift. It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion. Our gifts bless many and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways so that we may give again. And so it is.
We made it. We made it. Wasn't the choir fantastic? They're getting so good. So good. I wasn't up here earlier. I'm Reverend Jennifer. I'm going to be doing the closing affirmation. But for everybody that's watching at home, please share on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching from. If you're here in person, be sure to go to the concierge desk, find out where you would fit to volunteer, find out if there's a class or workshop that you'd like to take. We have lots of goodies back there, coffee, juice, cookies, I don't know, all sorts of stuff, and we have the bookstore. So we have all sorts of stuff happening after service. So forego your Father's Day brunch. Do Father's Day do brunch? I don't know. So I'll call my dad later and wish him a happy Father's Day. So let's do our closing affirmation all together. In every part of our lives, we are love, we share love, we serve love. Thank you for our lives. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you so much.